Hello, I'm going to do a quick tutorial for you for my tree drawing that I made for all of those who asked. This was for cycle 2, week 5, which is perspective, and I did this with markers. I just used plain old markers. You could also use crayons if you wanted to. I've also done this with acrylic painting. It actually originally was an acrylic painting that I did, and I thought since we were learning about drawing that I would try drawing it just with markers, and it still turned out really pretty with the markers, and my class really enjoyed making it today. I tutor mostly all 6-year-olds, so pretty much first grade. I think I have one 5-year-old in my class, so they all did really well with this. It was challenging for them, but they enjoyed it. They did a good job, and they all got creative with it and had their own looks to their trees and different colored leaves and things, and so I think they had a lot of fun doing this. And so to get started, like I said, this is for perspective, and so the perspective of this is that you are standing below the trees and looking up through the trees and through all of their leaves. And so the trees also look really long and tall, and so to get this illusion, we started to begin with a circle about the center, the upper center of the page. I had the kids take their pencils out and draw a small circle, so it looks something like this, like just a small circle. And then this just represented the vanishing point. So this was like a guide for them. They knew that all of their branches and all their tree trunks all were going up, and they were going to touch that circle. And so to begin, I had them take their pencils, their paper, make a circle, and then we started with making some curvy lines like this. So they would start at the bottom and go upward and make a curvy line and go to the circle, and then they came over here because we wanted to make a wide tree trunk, and so we came over here, we made another curvy line, and the goal was to start big at the bottom and get smaller and skinnier as we get closer to that circle. And so when you want something to look far away, you draw it small, and when you want something to look closer, you're going to draw it big. And so we want everything at the bottom to look big and everything close to this circle to look small. And so we start just by having them do curvy lines, and then everything goes upward. We don't draw from the top down, we drew from the bottom up. And so I just have them turn their page as we made our curvy lines, and we would make another one over here, different sizes, and we just keep turning our page all the way around until we had all of our outline done for our tree branches. And then I had them do like 4, 5, 6 trees. You don't want to get too many tree trunks and tree branches, because if you fill this up with brown, then they can't see all of the pretty leaves, which are the little dots that we did with the colorful markers. And so so I would say 5 is probably a good number. And then so to begin, we started again with the curvy lines. Once they had all of their outline done, I had them take their brown markers and just go over where all of their pencil is. So it just went over with the brown, and so it ended up looking something similar to this. And they had all of just their basic tree trunks, and then to do the little branches, we just did smaller lines and then little lines going off of those. And so again, you're using your oils, and I reminded them of that a lot throughout the painting, using their curvy lines and straight lines and swirly lines. And so it helps whenever you give direction using basic shapes. It makes it a little bit easier to draw versus just what you're looking at trying to copy. If you can tell them, make a straight line here and make a curved line here, they really can follow directions really well whenever you can do it that way. So for the branches, just like the tree trunks, we did big ones at the bottom and then smaller ones as you get up near your circle area. So big, wider branches, and then smaller, skinnier ones, and then you just get small and small and small until it vanishes in this little point right here. And then we went all the way around and did that, and then they filled it in with brown. And so I just took my brown marker and I just went up and down on this. You can see here, I really just scribbled this. I didn't really take too much time on this part. You can see all the white still showing through, and I really wanted to leave the white showing through because it adds a little bit of texture to the tree. You can see on this finished one all the little white peeking out. So I just scribbled up and down. I did not go side to side, and I did not color it in with circles, and so I just encouraged the kids just to scribble up and down. Everything in this drawing was vertical, and so sometimes you might have kids that want to go like from here down, or draw a branch and kind of go straight across, and so I just encourage them on trees to make them go up in a more vertical, and you can kind of go over to the side, but we always started with going up, and then we could kind of come out this way, so that way everything's growing and going up towards the center spot. Gets a little crazy when you start going every which direction, and then you might end up with just a whole bunch of scribbles. And so we had a couple of those, and we just got a fresh clean piece of paper and started over, and I just really showed them step by step each step. Okay, we're going to do a curved line here, and you're going to end here. Okay, now we're going to turn your page over, and we're going to fill it in on the side. And I just went step by step and walked them through, and they did a really good job. So once you get all your branches, and I did some smaller ones here, so you can see I did like a little smaller branch. Again, it gives it the look of those are further back, and these ones are more up close. And so I went all the way around, and then for the leaves, that was the easy part. So all the hard part was done with the branches and tree trunks, and for the leaves, we just made dots. And so we took our markers. I did fall colors. Some of the other kids, I let them pick. Some of them did rainbow. We had some rainbow trees, which was super fun and creative. Looked like confetti over the page. And so they had a lot of fun with this. And so for this, you're just literally dabbing. So on this one, I kind of started it there. And I just had them dab, especially around where the branches are, is especially where you want to dab. And they just took all their colors, and then I also reminded them not to hit too hard because you'll press the marker in and you can ruin your markers that way. So we were very gently dabbing, and some of my students had the brilliant idea to take the markers and put them together and do more than one. Just one hand to do more than one at a time, which made the time go by faster and was a really great idea. So like I said, some of them had rainbow trees, and so they had 4 or 5 different colors, and then they were just dabbing them all together, which helped save a little bit of time since we only have 30 minutes to do this drawing. If you're doing it at home, you could probably spend a little bit more time, make it all neater. We just really kind of quickly went through this and got the basic concept and the basic ideas down, and they had a lot of fun whenever they were doing it. So after you do that, you just fill it all up, and then I kind of highlighted, you can see where my circle was here. I just kind of highlighted around the vanishing point. You can see in this finished one how there's a little bit more yellow there. I put that back. It just looks like the sun shining through. So when you step back and look, it looks like you're looking up and the sun is just kind of coming in, peeking in through there. So, and then some of this black, if you have older kids, we didn't do this part in my class, but if you have older kids who want to add some details, they could add some lines with their black marker and put some little knots in the trees. And so to do a knot, you just do a little curved line, and then another little longer curved line, and then another one. You kind of stack them like this, and that gives you a tree knot. And you can do some big ones at the bottom and smaller ones as you go towards the top, and then some lines. You could put some little lines in here which make it look a little bit more like bark on a tree. Just very gently you can outline some of the edges here like that. You can see I did that over here on some of the corners. And so that's just some extra stuff that you can do at home, or if you have older kids and you have more time to spend if they get done quickly. But that's just optional. You don't really have to do that. Ours looked great without all of the extras on there. So you can get as fancy with it or as simple with it as you want. And I just reminded the kids that all trees look different. This is one of the first things I learned how to draw, and I enjoy teaching trees because there's really no wrong way to draw a tree. Trees, you know, they kind of go all different directions, and they're all different sizes and shapes and colors, and so I just encourage them to be creative and give their interpretation of the tree as we were drawing it, and they really enjoyed it and really enjoyed their finished product whenever we were done. So that's about it. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me on Facebook. I'd be happy to answer, and I hope that helps give you just a little bit better idea of how to do something like this at home or in your classroom. So thank you so much for all the compliments, and I hope you enjoy your drawing.